Hello and welcome to a brand new video and a brand new series brought to you by the good people at FM Wonderkids. We're doing a Wolverhampton Wonderkids save. You're going to get an entire season review every episode, one episode every Monday. Now don't forget to like the video before we start. It really helps the channel. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with your Wolves supporting dog. It really helps the channel out. Cats, more than welcome as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new as well. Why should you subscribe? Well, every Monday we've got Wonderkids videos coming up. Check those out. Every Friday we've got a Manchester United career mode save. And every Wednesday we will have a season review of Wolverhampton Wonderkids. Head on over to Patreon if you really want to support the channel. You can download the tactics that we're going to be using here, the tactics that we use in our Man United save, and also all of the shortlists that we use for all of our Wonderkids videos. Now, let's get started. Wolverhampton Wonderkids. I'll give you a little bit of a background on where Wolverhampton Wonderkids came from, where the idea came from, and where we're going with it as well before we start. So, I started this Wolverhampton game in November last year when my daughter was born. So we went, my first daughter, beautiful little baby girl, and when we went into the hospital, I brought my laptop with me, obviously. Ideal, yeah? Time for a bit of Football Manager. And I started off this Wolverhampton game, and I've been playing it ever since. Now, it just so happened that I started, and all I signed was young players, really. I didn't really sign any older players, young players, and Wonderkids. And yeah, then I just got the idea to turn it into a YouTube phenomenon and get it out every Wednesday for you guys. And so Wolverhampton Wonderkids Wednesday at 1 o'clock. For my subscribers. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like the video, okay? The way it's going to work, you're going to get the entire season in one episode. So every Wednesday, smash on the YouTube, you're going to get a season review from the Wolverhampton Wonderkids. There's some absolutely huge signings coming up. I promise you that, and some big seasons. Follow me on Twitter. If you do follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen a couple of spoilers already. Hopefully not too much. So we'll go straight into it. We'll review the first season. So you can see here the league table. This is how we finished up. So we actually finished 6th. So it wasn't outstanding for the first season. Let me see if I can get that in more detail here. So we actually finished 6th. We played 38 games, and we won 22. God, it's annoying, this little hover thing. We drew 3, but we lost 13. Scoring 71 goals, conceding 51 goals. The goal difference of plus 20, and we made 69 points. We made 69 points. We totaled 69 points. So not outstanding, kind of where you would expect Wolves to be, but we qualified for Europe. We were above Tottenham, which is good, and we were in the top 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is pretty decent, but we didn't have an outstanding season. You can see here, Martial, top goal scorer in the league with 23, then Manny and Aguero. Average ratings with Manny, then Grimaldo, signed for Liverpool, who does really well for them at left back there as well. Interesting to see Sigurdsson on the board there for assists. If we look at the league then, we learn in a bit more detail. We always like to look at the player details. So goals we like. We always like to look at the goals. Let's have a look here. So Martial came out top with 23. Then Sadio Mane, 20. So not banging in loads and loads of goals, but then Aguero. And then we had Raul Jimenez, the 4th top scorer, 18 goals. 33 appearances with 2 off the bench. So not too bad, but again, we didn't really have anyone in the top here. Aubameyang had the most shots. Dries Mertens covered the most distance. Traore did have the most dribbles per game. Obviously, Traore is a speed machine, so we'll have a little look at him. See his attributes here. The acceleration is just cut out, but trust me, it's like 20. So he's fast, pace is 19, dribbling and flair, but apart from that, he hasn't really got anything else in his locker. But what more do you need? We played him as a winger. So yeah, he was really good for us in this first season. Apart from that then, João Moutinho created the most chances in the league, 26. which is really, really good. Then apart from that, we didn't really have any standout players in the league. Next up, we'll have a look at the squad. So the squad for the season was, we thought it was quite strong, so we probably underachieved for the squad that we had. What I usually like to do is look at the team reports here and go into depth, squad depth, okay? So our squad was actually quite tidy. We had Patricio in goal. It was really good, look at that. Very solid there, strength, good one-on-ones and reflexes, communication. So Patricio really good there. Doherty and Johnny as our right backs. We were playing in the first season, we were playing Johnny at right back and we were playing Matt Doherty as a box-to-box midfielder a lot of the time. So I'll show you how we did. Johnny's really good right back, look at that. But Matt Doherty we felt was quite well-rounded and we thought we could play him as a box-to-box. Well, we did. We played him as a box-to-box midfielder a lot of the time. 27 games in the league, most of those were here in midfield. He never really, to be honest with you, got natural at it, which is a shame. We thought he could get natural. But there we are, these things, you try these things sometimes and they don't work out, but he had a pretty decent average rating, I think, in the league. So average rating in the cup was 7.5, in the league 6.94, so almost a 7. But you can see in his graph there, he's like a midfielder, look at that, it's quite round. So we're happy with Doherty there, but in the middle, but we'll probably change it up. Johnny on the right then. Cody and Bolly in the middle. But we also signed on Greeny here as a wonder kid. His attributes here, tackling, marking, heading's a little bit missing. But he's got determination, positioning already. 22 is quite good and he's strong and he's fast as well. So on Greeny was a good little buy for us, one to develop for the future. Left back then, we signed, the second signing that we made, I think, it was Windal. Dutch left back. Let's have a little look at his attributes here. You can see tackling, decent, passing, crossing as well. So we wanted to get a left back who could attack. And we did. I mean, his average rating in the league was actually quite good, 7.1. His average rating in the cup, 7.2. And his average rating overall for the club, 7.1. You can't quite see his numbers there. So go back. There we are. Neves then we like to play in the playmaking role, deep lying playmaker. We'll go on to the tactics in a second. Sace was his backup. We then had Moutinho and Matt Doherty in the middle for the majority of games. Doherty's a box-to-box. I think Moutinho's a box-to-box as well in the first season. Backups then, Dundonker and Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White, obviously a wonder kid. Check it out there. Okay, Gibbs-White, very, very good potential. So it's important we got him enough games at the start. So he actually played 34 games for us. And he had an average rating of 7, which is really, really good. And look, you can see here he's developing already really quickly. So Gibbs-White is definitely one that we like. Have a little look at his positions here. So we're playing him mainly in the centre, but we do train him up in the future as an inside forward on the left. Traore then as a winger, and look at this, we signed Karamoko Dembele. Turns into a wonder kid, but he's only described as a winger at the moment. He's only 17. We picked him up for, hold on, can't quite see that, 7.5 million. So he was our backup on the right wing. Left wing, Jota as an inside forward. Fantastic. I think we had Neto. Or was Neto a left footer? Neto's a left footer. So we had, I think we were playing Cutrone as his backup there on the left. Again, training him up in that position. Let's go back there. And another guy we signed here, Gelhardt. Fantastic. Check out the Wonder Kids videos if you haven't seen this guy. Really does develop. Turns into a Wonder Kid, but he's only described as a striker there. 18 years old. We picked him up from Wigan. Not setting the world alight at the moment in terms of attributes, but stay tuned. He does get better. 12 million there. We picked him up from Wigan. At the front then, we obviously got Jimenez, Jota, we tended to play on the left, and we played Jimenez up front. Obviously, look at Jimenez's stats. He's very well developed in terms of a striker, finishing, heading, off the ball, acceleration, pace, and a little bit of strength as well. And he's very, very good mentally. So Jimenez, like we say, I think was he fourth top scorer in the league. He's played 46 games for us. We played a lot of games. We did play a lot of games. So if we go into the schedule now, we can kind of have a good idea of how we did in this first season. Sorry, go up to the top. So really well pre-season in the hospital. Really well pre-season in the hospital. Really well in loads of games here. Europa qualifying, Premier League, doing really well in the league. Really well. Look at all those wins. Doing really, really good. And then the losses start to creep in. So we lost here away in the Europa League. We lost at home to Newcastle, and we lost at home to Arsenal. Loads and loads of wins. Then lost to Man City, obviously. We're not too sad about that. And we won 7-0 here against BATE. So look at those. Morgan Gibbs-White, Gelhirt scores 2. Traore scores 2 from the wing. There's a 9.6 here. 9.5, 9.5. Look at those ratings. Really, really good game there from the lads. But then a poor run of form ensues. We got a draw here, loss here, win, win, loss, win, win, loss, loss. Sheffield United, Man United. So that's where the form really dips and our kind of league position and everything suffers. We went 4-0 in the cup against Fulham, which is good. Again, Jota, Gelhardt played up front this time, and Traore. Doherty, you can see they're playing as a box-to-box midfielder. Actually had a 7.1. Coutinho and a Neves there, just like we say. Very, very good. 3 losses in a row there. Knocked out of the cup by Man City, lost away to Man City, and then lost away to Inter Milan. Really, really hard 3 fixtures there, to be fair. We did win 1-0 on the return leg of Inter Milan, but it wasn't enough to see us through. Raul Jimenez scored after 9 minutes, and then we kept plugging away, but eventually, obviously, we got knocked out 2-1. Lost 5-0 then to Arsenal, which was hard to take. Have a look at that. Scored in the 8th minute, and then they just kept scoring. Look at the match stats here. We actually smashed them 3-2 on clear-cut chances, so it was a difficult one to take. And then, yeah, a couple of bad results towards the end. Lost to Liverpool, lost to Watford, drew to Bournemouth. So that's the schedule. Moving on then to the tactics that we were using. And again, if you want to become a patron, you can download each tactic as it develops. We start with the Season 1 tactic, Season 2, Season 3, then Season 4. Obviously, as the episodes come out every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And this is a tactic then. So it was a let's have a look here. What was it? It was a fluid counterattack. No, it wasn't. That was number 3. Number 2 was attack. Number 1 was control. So I think we flipped between attack and control depending on whether we were favourites for the game, etc. So control with Mezzala, an advanced playmaker and a halfback. Okay, this is the one we use actually majority of the time. The attacking 4-3-3. This is the one you'll find up on Patreon for the patrons. So Ogwini and Cody as ball playing defenders. Patricio's attack and super keeper there. We do change that going forward to a more cautious. Doherty is in the right back position there, but he did play where Gibbs-White is for a few games. This was majority of the time, this was a winger with attack. Traore. And that was an inside forward attack, and that was a pressing forward attack. But then, that's right, if we did play Neto would generally be the backup and we'd play him as an inside forward, but attacking. So those are the only alterations we would make to the tactic. And it was generally really good, but again, obviously, we played a lot of games, and we did finish 6th, so it wasn't too bad. But we do get a lot better, trust me. Next episode, a lot of development there. So looking at the squad then, again, we've gone through a lot of the squads, a lot of Portuguese players. It's in the club vision that we have to sign Portuguese players. So you'll see a lot of arguments with the board going into the next few episodes, but they do want us to prioritise signing Portuguese players to the point where we were ripping our hair out at one point. So it is a difficult challenge, signing Wonderkids, signing under 23 players, but also trying to make sure we keep the board happy. And that's it. So we'll have a little look then at our transfers and transfer history. So a lot of movement in and a lot of movement out. Some of these were obviously by the club before we started, like Dendonka, Neto, Catrone, Jimenez. And then these are ours then. So Anguini, we spoke about. Gelhardt, we spoke about. 13 and 12 million. Dembele, we spoke about from Celtic, Wonderkid. Windal, promising under 23s. And this guy we haven't spoke about, Reina. We've got him for 17.5 million. Brazilian guy. Couldn't get a work permit, so we loaned him out to New York. Okay, he's going to be amazing. Look at his attributes there. He's only 18, but unfortunately, he's played one game for the under-20s in Brazil and he couldn't get a work permit. So we bought him and we just shipped him out, sent him out on loan. Make sure he gets those games and he'll come back to us. And when we do get that work permit, he'll be a solid member of the team. So looking at the season in review then, Wolves 2019 and 20 season in review. Wolves are expected to be amongst the leading contenders for a continental football qualification spot, and they lived up to the billing by securing a place for themselves. So Wolves were one of the competition's surprise packages, consistently defying expectations, owing largely to an impressive spell of form between August and October that saw them rise to first. So we did see a good couple of greens when we looked at the schedule. We were up in first for a long time, but then a bit of a dip in form, a few losses and a few bad results. We lost it. We were able to celebrate a successful campaign. So we finished 6th in the league. We lost in the second round to the Europa Cup and we lost in the 5th round to Man City in the FA Cup, quarter-final to Leeds. Match of the season, 4-0 whooping of Watford. Moment to forget. We spoke about that, the 5-0 drubbing at Arsenal. Average attendance is 30,852 and the total players used is 20, the lowest in the Premier Division. The board are delighted with the vision progress and we've got a meeting there. They do not let you get rid of this. To sign Portuguese players, it's the thorn in our side. That's it then. So next up, Season 2, Wolverhampton Wonderkids. Tune in next Wednesday, see how the second season goes. I promise you there's some absolutely beastly signings coming up. There's some really good things to look out for. So make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget to like the video. Head on over to Patreon if you want to download some goodies and really support the channel. I'll see you next Wednesday for Wolverhampton Wonderkids. Thank you very much for watching.